Precinct annual selfish firearm. Data calls for speculation. Superintendent overrule. Try to counsel. Sentence in court. Policeman lean. Leisure. Can you please? Leisure immunity trial. Date in court. Superintendent overrule. What is your wife's name? Something really. Exhibit. State your name for the record. Answers to interrogatories. Accusation. Homicide. Infrastructure. District Court was in. Prosecutorial legal. State your name for the record. Prostitute estimate. Cross-examination. Libel. The defendant's default. Prosecuted. Felonious default. Self-defense. Appellant. Witnessed. Accusing. Progressive. Notary versus plaintiff. Lean. Century accent. What is your wife's name? The jury. Cross. Examine accuser. On the record. Third party. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Summons overruled. Testify. Assault and battery. Third party. Ligament. Trial date. Malice. Police report. Is he also judgmental? Hilarious. Sequester. Jurisdiction in court. Trial date. State exhibit. Alleged courtroom. Defendant's exhibit. Oath. Criminal. I'd appreciate it. Litigant enforce officer. Arraign. Quarterly. Counsel. Immunity. Arbitrator. Superior Court. Progressive. Oath. Judicial. Malicious. In jail. Maiden name. Deputy Sheriff. Friday. Divorce. Deputy Eternity. October. Witnessed. Decade. That also. Injunction. Objection. Period. Stature. Allegation. Off the record. Malpractice. Courtroom patrol. Precedent. Administrator. Jury trial. Respondent. Appeal. Friday. Proximate cause. Summary. Policeman allegedly exhibit. Plaintiffs. Attorney. Client privilege. Law school. Defense. Welcome. Liability. Prognosis. Police department. Quarterly. Trial date. Oath. Perjury. Defendant's exhibit. Friday. Relevance. Litigate. Defendants. Interview. Firearm. Statue. Firefighter. State's exhibit. Interrogation. Aggravate. Self-defense. Defendants. In general. Tuesday. Bankrupt. Judge. Patrol. Immunity. Eternity. Offense. Malpractice. Payroll. Hilarious versus. In court. Acquitted. Settlement. Sustain prostitution into a notarize. State your name for the record. Objection. Was in. Plea bargain. Expert witness. Defendants. Interview. Cross. Examination. Summons. Settlement. Larceny. Deliberations. Summons. Deputy Sheriff. Prodding. Aggravate. Felonious precedent. Maiden name. Pretended accusation. Avenue. Affirm your honor. Progressive. Relevance. Testament. State your full name for the record. Affirm probable cause. Prosecutor will go. Accusing. Testimonial. Mirandize. Disastrous preliminary hearing. Of your manslaughter estimate. Criminal beyond a reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt estimate. Probation. Law school. May I approach the bench? Deliberate. Police department. I object. Counsel. November. Court reporting. Prosecution. Deponent. Unprecedented decree versus the plaintiff. Malpractice. Accent. Executor. Defendant's exhibit. Trial court. Accent. Prosecution. Subpoena. Dupes tecum. Power of attorney. Complainant. Judge. Appellant. Etc. Interrogation. Your Honor. Answers to interrogatories. Plaintiff's exhibit. Law school. Prosecution. Court precedent. Injunction. Statutory opening statement. State your full name for the record. Judicial. Aggravate. Offense. Tuesday. Enforce. Mirandize. The plaintiff. Infrastructure. Offensive. Plaintiff. Century. Statutory. Bankrupt. Overruled. Sentenced. Jurisdiction. Personal injury. What is your wife's name? March. Aggravated. Summary judgment. Mirandize. Welcome. State's exhibit. June. Homicide. Listed. Law enforcement. September. Policeman. Litigation. Prognosis. De facto. Disastrous. Miranda. Confidential. Exhibit. Warrant. Proximate cause. Prostitute. Courthouse. Petition. Necessity. Abrupt. Deliberating expunge. Monday the defendants enforce pretended fire truck. Pain and suffering jury may I approach the bench. Accusing. Witness prosecuting attorney. Client privilege federal court fireman the court. Accused. Malice. September annual misdemeanor. December. Thursday deputy aggravated competent. County court precedent state exhibit courthouse objection period. Within. Malice century settlement. Trial date. Sheriff's Department affirmative assault and battery expunge homicide beyond a reasonable doubt. Pain and suffering defense arraignment. September. Deliberation necessity. January pretending do you have any lien. State court. Welcome. Parole officer is there any? My name is. Litigate. Oath C. Third. Party transcript pain and suffering injunction was in. Unfold. Defendants. Exhibit cause of action. Listed pretending lien. Homicide. Nearby. Third party. County court assault. Affirmation. Parole officer duress notary aggravate jury trial. Judgment. Calls for speculation courtroom. July arbitrator. Miranda. Plaintiff's exhibit. Versus do you recollect? V. Witnessed. Court of law. Deliberation. Sentence. Cross. Examination defense tendency maiden name. Defense affirmative the defendant's privilege upper. Assault. Prognosis accusation hearing irrelevant the court. Stature. Sequester. Appearance lien policeman personal injury deponent. Avenue testament progression. Appellate. Upper. May I approach? Accused. Fire Department Precedent Court of Appeals. Exhibit Federal Court. Do you recollect? Accusers duress misconduct felony notarize oath arraignment heroes Federal Court. Immune. Unfold. Homicide heroes maiden name. Patterns. Prosecution legalization. The defendants enforce preliminary hearing. January. Judge. Lien. May I approach the witness? I'd appreciate it. Friday superintendent prosecuted. County court aggravate. Liable. Sentence. Run out of parts of the arraign. Was in. Libel. Relevance. Affirmation. State your name for the record prosecutor deputy sheriff. Defense. Appeal. Testimony statutory of your. Changes with an asterisk. Used to replace words. Offensive. Sequestered reasonable doubt precedent accent deliberate. Monday deponent. Offense. Offensive. Offense. Of your fireman. Plaintiff's exhibit. Exhibit jurisprudence lawsuit. The judge. May I approach? In court. Appeal. Assault and battery annual due diligence fire station. Offense. Disastrous. Defendants. Court reporting. Statutory officer fountain. Parole officer legalization. Supreme Court precedent fountain. State your full name for the record. Relevant. Firefighter. Police department. Personal injury preliminary firearm. Executor. Police department. What is your wife's name? Appellate court. Can you please necessity upper acquittal precinct. January. Closing statement attorney-client privilege deliberations accusation interview. Probation prosecute federal court. Sequestered. Court of Appeals precedent. States exhibit prosecutorial. Judge. Hearing. Prosecutorial. Firearm. The defendant's decade wooden overruled. The jury perjury closing statement accusers. Venue heroes transcription. Power of attorney wooden firefighter. Probate. Firefighter defendant lawsuit. Testament jurisdiction judgmental therein. Plea bargain therein manslaughter preliminary hearing. Maiden name. Appellant. Probable cause. Venue. Third party. The court federal court. Personal. Injury misdemeanor malicious. Judgment. No matter exhibit interrogation accent versus stricken maiden name. Decree bankrupt overrule. Deliberate. Offensive. Accuse litigation listed. Into a. Run out of a firm anguish. Calls for speculation decade annual police station reform pain and suffering decree. Felonious bankrupt. September warrant juror testimony executrix. Nearby. Allegedly. Law enforcement felon. The plaintiff. Necessarily I. Trial date. Appealed. The defendant's default. Assault and battery. Felonious. Executrix. Felon precedent. Tuesday. Liable. Probable cause testament appearance disastrous. Allegedly testimony juror deliberations. Police officer oath. Patrol. State your full name for the record. Hearing reasonable doubt. District Court. Sheriff's Department jury malicious. Sequester. Acquit. Power of attorney arbitrator statute prosecute judgment. Object. Sentenced prostitute aggravate. Appealed. Power of attorney point of view. Conviction. Judge. That also. Decade. Prosecutorial. Probable cause acquittal. Sunday. Trial court negligent personal injury executrix. Etc. unfold. Thursday juror sustain. Victim. Juror counsel prosecution progression warrant cross-examine. No matter aggravation trial court irrelevant sequester. Aggravate confidential. Mirandize notarize aggravate. Accuse. Fire truck. Administratrix. Defendant's exhibit appellant. Homicide confidential estimate for the record. September preliminary hearing. Cause of action. Judgment. I assume. Sustained. Personal knowledge. In fact. January. Avenue manslaughter relevant legalization testament bailiff. Necessarily I. Plaintiff. What is your address? Trial date pretended conviction eternity. Your Honor. Plaintiffs. Courthouse jurisprudence off the record jurisdiction oath reform tendency judgmental deliberation. Fire Department. Deputy Sheriff. Thursday. Libel. In fact. Do you have any offense? I assume defendant preliminary interrogating into a versus irrelevant unconscionable in general fountain. Attorney. Client privilege the defendant perjury appellant. Attendant. Docket defendant competent appearance. March summary relevant. Into a verdict. Law firm. Opening statement tendency overrule petition the judge. In court administrator negligent upper stricken precinct. Sequester. For the record. Parole officer unconscionable horse. Point of view. Police station interrogation homicide. Lien. Infrastructure prosecutor plaintiffs. Welcome appearance statutory had you seen. Personal knowledge. Saturday. Calls for speculation objection relevancy. Monday infrastructure confidentiality allegedly. Subpoena. Accuser. Wednesday privilege. October. Lien misdemeanor fireman necessity boundary issue. He is stateside. Damages. Offensive. Pain and suffering prosecution versus felon privilege prosecuting necessity preliminary Sheriff's Department. Appealed. Prosecution. Sheriff. Appealed. Prodding. Assault and battery. Liable notarized docket. Litigant jury lawsuit. Defendant's appearance precedence sheriff judgmental arraignment of Your Honor. I object. July. Patrol superintendent plaintiffs. Overrule. Police department reasonable doubt. Payroll. Lien transcript stature. Calls for speculation prodding. Off the record jurisprudence. Tuesday. Sustain. States exhibit damages. January. Eternal. Litigate. Malpractice. No matter stricken patterns. Judge. Plea bargain statutory. June. Verdict.